Pokemon 151 is just around the corner, and guys, we're going to be talking a lot of Pokemon 151 over the next few weeks leading up to the release of the set. But before that, today we're going to be talking about what are the top 10 most expensive cards out of the Pokemon Japanese 151 set. We're on the way to the English release, so today we'll be looking at the top 10 most expensive cards coming out of the Japanese set to give us some idea what we can expect coming into the English release. Let's get into it. Alright guys, 151 is just around the corner, and we're going to be doing a lot of videos about 151 leading up to the release because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But today we're going to be taking a quick little sidestep and we're going to be looking at the Japanese release. And now that's been out for a while and the hype has kind of gone down a bit and booster boxes aren't ridiculously expensive. They still are expensive, but not ridiculously expensive. But what are the top 10 most expensive cards? Now, some of these are going to come into the main set of 151 in English, but others aren't going to be there. I don't know whether or not they are going to be there. It's a bit confusing, but we're going to be getting into it right now. So let's get into it. Coming in number 10, we have the Mewtwo Master Ball foil coming in at $72 on average. Now, I'm not too sure whether or not the Master Balls are going to be in the English version of 151. You're going to have to let me know, guys, down in the comments if you know whether or not they're going to be in there or not. Now, when we saw V-Star Universe come over to Crown Zenith, we did see those energy cards, but they were a lot easier to get. You know, before they were like one per box, they were a lot easier to get. Obviously, in the Japanese version, the Master Balls were one per box, so we'll have to wait and see. Are they going to be more frequent? If they are in English, we'll have to wait and see. But it's pretty good, right? It is pretty good. It says you can find the non-foil version or hollow Master Ball version for under $5, so it's not massively expensive, but it is a pretty big card. Nonetheless, I mean, it's a pretty awesome looking card in and of itself. Only one card in the booster box is a Master Ball reverse. And they had the Pokeball reverse, which is in every single pack. The Master Ball was one per box, which made it tough, right? And because it's such a large pool to get the specific Pokemon you want, made it really difficult. So I don't feel like we're going to get the same. Hey, look, we might do, and I could be wrong, but like I say, doing pretty well at $72. Then we have the Eevee Master Ball. So there's going to be quite a few Master Balls, I have a feeling, in this list at $72 as well. Again, gorgeous. The Master Ball one, I think when we opened up, I think we didn't get anything too crazy. Maybe we got a Flareon Master Ball, which is actually pretty cool. But we didn't get any like these big top ones that are going to probably be in this list. But obviously, we're talking about the evolutions. It's going to be big. You know, any of them, whether it's the original Eevee or any of the others, they usually hold good value. So if we are going to get a Master Ball version of this in English, then it probably have a little bit of value. Obviously, nowhere near as much as the Japanese, because like I say, one per box is super tough to get. So that's actually pretty awesome. Then we have in number 8 the Zapdos EX illustration art, whatever you want to call it. This is actually my chase card in English. When it comes out in English, this is the card I want, mainly because I love the legendary birds and I absolutely love Articuno. And this is a beautiful card because it shows all three of them, and the artwork is sick. I think it's amazing. So we look at this, $86 for this one. It's interesting, you know, it's doing pretty well, $86. You know, last time we saw something like this was probably what, Hidden Fates. Yeah, it says the last time we saw all three of them together was in Hidden Fates. Obviously, we had the GX style, you had the normal, you had the full art, you had the rainbow. Some of my all-time favorite cards. I absolutely love them. This one looks way better than all of them. Like, it really, really does. I think this is going to be one of the most expensive cards in English, only because, like I said, I don't think we're going to get the Master Balls. And I hope that we don't have trainers as the most expensive, but I do rate this. I like it. We have to keep an eye on it. Next up, we have the Erica's Invitation Master Ball foil. Now we broke over $100, quite a bit actually, $130. Fan favorite waifu. I mean, it's Japanese, right? Of course, it's going to be the case. I don't see the case being the same in English. It never transfers over the same when it comes to English. It just doesn't. I'm happy with that, right? But I don't like to see, you know, full art trainers being the best cards. It's a bit lame in my opinion. We've seen it quite enough already in the Scarlet and Violet era. So it says here, following the pattern set by Miriam from Scarlet and Violet and Iono from How They Are Evolved, Pokemon Company again has another fan favorite female trainer with a potent effect to make a must-have card. So this is, you know, it's going to be good, which is pretty cool. And Erica is kind of a big favorite as well. But again, it's the Master Ball foiling. It's tough to get hold of in the Japanese. That one per box really does. And the pools were large, right? I believe it's like basically any card in the set can be a reverse hollow. I've seen some people get like a Master Ball, like, I don't know what card it is, but it's like a half-eaten apple, you know, trainer card. I mean, that's just terrible. But these are the big money ones because the pool's so large and you only get one per box. Getting one of these is quite precious and holds a good amount of value. We're carrying on with even more Master Balls. We have Gengar, big fan favorite, especially in Gen 1. You know, it's really cool. Artwork's quite nice, actually. We're looking at $146 as the average sold price for this card. But this is going to be a big card, you know, to collect. Like I say, unless we're getting one in English, it's probably going to be worth anywhere near as much. Even if we do get in English, this isn't going to be worth anywhere near as much. But Gengar is a big fan favorite. We've seen it in Fusion Strike with that big Gengar Alt Art VMAX. I absolutely love Gengar. He's one of my favorites. Part of me was really tempted to put Gengar into my channel banner because I have like my top 6 favorite Pokemon, and I kind of feel like he's like number 7. Like he's just missed out. He might go in there in a new version of that. But yeah, I do really like Gengar, and this is doing pretty well at 146. Okay, coming to the top 5 waifu cards. Waifu boys, where you at? $150 full art trainer. Look, I mean, it's Japanese. Like we say, it's a fan favorite, you know, trainer. It's going to be expensive. I mean, if this wasn't, we're clearly not looking at a Japanese set, right? Erica's Invitation, 150, you know, big money card. Part of me hope that these don't come out over here ridiculously expensive. We've seen it with the Miriam, right? The Miriam crashed, the special illustration rare. Well, it holds a little bit of value, but not much. Iono holds very well, the SIR, but I think that's mainly due to pull rates. And then even the full art Iono is doing pretty well as well. So both of them are doing okay. Let me look at Obsidian Flames. The full art trainers didn't do very well at all. Hopefully when we come to 151, hopefully, fingers crossed, we have Pokemon that are leading the way to be the most valuable cards. Speaking of Pokemon, Charizard, of course he's got to be in this list, right? Number 4 at $160. I'm not sold on this artwork, guys. I'm not. Now, I actually prefer, out of the 3, like Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise, we have all 3 of them in the set. I actually really prefer the Venusaur. And actually, to be fair, the Blastoise is quite nice. Charizard, I'm not too sure. I actually think the pre-evolutions of this is a nice little evolution line between Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. I prefer them. Squirrel's my favourite. I think Squirrel looks fantastic. But this is still a big card at $160. I think this is going to be top 3 most expensive card in the set in English. Probably the most expensive, only because they're doing some weird stuff with the UPC and some of the other cards that are probably going to be in this list. That are big cards from Japanese 151 that aren't going to be in the booster packs that we open in English, which we'll find out in a moment. Obviously, I talked about the story between the Charmander and Charmeleon. Here's the Charmander and Charmeleon, absolutely gorgeous. We are going to get these in English. They look absolutely amazing. You have all 3 of them. Really nice collection piece. And the same for Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, and Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, which I think, to be fair, Squirtle is my favourite. But these are all really, really nice. Okay, now we're on to the Mew. Now, this is a interesting card, beautiful card, but it's not in the main set. We can't pull this in booster packs. This is actually going to be one of the promos in the Ultra Premium Collection box. Now, I already have some of my own unusual views compared to some people as regards to the Mew UPC, which we will get to in another video. We'll go into more talks about it, but right now this sold for $177 on average in Japanese. Now, this is a tough card to pull in the set, of course. As a rule, you tend to only get one of these type of cards in a booster box. Pool is reasonably large, and you know, this is a fan favorite, and this is a gorgeous card. This will not be anywhere near the same value in English, I can tell you that right now. You probably will be surprised if this is a 10th of the value when it comes out in English, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, when it comes out in the UPC. Personally, I think this should have been in the set for us to open, to make it a little bit more fun to pull and more exciting to pull when opening booster packs. Number 2, of course, it has to be a waifu card. We have the Erica's Invitation. Now, I actually thought this is probably the most expensive card in the set, but apparently not, at $294. Now, let's put this into perspective, guys, okay? The Miriam is ridiculously expensive from the Violet Japanese set, okay? Dendra is very expensive. Triplet Beat, I believe. And then we have Clayburst with the Iono. All in Japanese, right? Really expensive. I'm talking ridiculous amounts of money, way more than this. It's coming at $300. It sounds weird to say, is kind of weak in my opinion. Now, I think in English we're going to be looking at this maybe being $40, maybe $50. I don't think it really being much more, but we'll have to wait and see. I do feel like this is going to be maybe top 3 cards of the set. I do feel like Charizard could be number 1, and I do feel like the Zapdos could be top 3 as well. So I think it's going to be between the Zapdos, this, and the Charizard. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, of course. This is still a nice card. Nice artwork. I actually prefer the other one to this one. but this is still doing okay at 300. But like I said, I do feel it's kind of weak in compared to some of the other Japanese sets. Then number 1, we have the Pikachu Master Ball foils. This is actually more expensive than the Erica, which I was actually quite surprised at $308. Of course, it's going to be Pikachu, right? It was going to be one of the famous Pokemon, as it were, coming in as a Master Ball, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I like the artwork anyway, but as a Master Ball foil, looks really nice. I don't feel like this is, like I said, I'm not too sure whether or not this is going to be in the English set. If it is, it's going to be worth nowhere near the 300. No way is it going to be. But I do feel like it is quite high for this. It is a very chase after card. It is tough to get. Like I say, that pool of cards for the Master Ball is quite tough. But it looks pretty good, and I do feel like it's going to be a card which, as Japanese, you grade it, it's going to do pretty well. So big fan favorite in at $300. There you have it, guys. Those are the top 10 most expensive cards. Japanese 151. Now with the release of 151 coming out, what, in like 3-4 weeks, no, about 3 weeks time after this video, then we're coming into basically hype season, preview season, whatever you want to call it. But we already know what's going to be in the set anyway. Like I said, the Mew, the Gold Mew, and the Mewtwo, which are 3 incredible cards, are not going to be in the main set. They're actually going to be in the UPC as promos. Is that going to hurt the actual main set? We'll have to wait and see, right? We're basically taking, I would say, 3 big cards away from the set, which is kind of odd in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see. I do feel like Charizard could be number 1 again. We could have 2 sets back to back where Charizard is the most expensive cards. And then we could be seeing the Erica card, and we can then also look at seeing the Zapdos. Probably be in the top 3 big chase cards, but we'll have to see based on pull rates, of course. It is going to be a holiday set, no booster boxes, only ETBs, and the supplementary products. I think 151 is going to be doing really well. We're going to be taking a closer look at the English version in some upcoming videos, but right now Japanese, it was really hyped, really overpriced set in my opinion. I do feel like people were just kind of pumping and dumping this set like absolutely crazy. Do I think it's the right thing? No. I try to get booster boxes at what I would call a reasonable price, and there just weren't any, so it is quite tough. And the pull rates are pretty good. With the Master Balls, I think it makes it fun and exciting to open. And people have had a blast. I've had a blast. We've had a blast as well, opening this up on the streams. The 151 in English, I'm looking forward to it. But that is what is going on with the Japanese set. If you made this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content. And drop me a comment, all right, down below. What are your thoughts on the Japanese set? Do you think it was overhyped mess and, highly inflated and it shouldn't have been that price? Or do you feel like it was reasonable? Now, personally, like I say, I think it was a little bit pushed and, people were hyping up and it just shot in price, and now it's starting to settle back down to, I would say, reasonable, but still pretty expensive booster boxes. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments. But if you want to know about really expensive cards in the Sun and Moon era, and we're talking alt arts, then make sure to click on this video right here. And of course, if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.